Good afternoon, y'all. Marlene Bush, Stitching by the Lake. I am in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and today is the 22nd day of October, and it's another beautiful fall day. There's a tree outside my window. I always try to show it to y'all, and I'm going to try to turn you around right now. You can see all the mess in my sewing room, but I'm going to try to show you this tree that is in my neighbor's yard. Look at that, isn't it gorgeous? I'm sorry, hope you don't get sick. It's changing really funny this year. It's kind of changing on the outer edges, and the middle is still green. I don't know why it's doing that. It's extremely dry here. Extremely dry. We need a rain desperately. We had a rainy summer, but this fall, not so much. And I told y'all last time I was a little concerned about the leaves, but right now they're certainly beginning to change. I have so much to tell y'all and to show you today. I have a gift. I have something I bought. I have whips. I have finished things. I have FFOs. I even have some older stitched Halloween and fall things that I brought in, depending on how much time I have in this video. That's one of the older things I've stitched, and it is not cross stitch. It is quilted, applique with a blanket stitch, and it's hanging on an Ackworth hanger. I think that's the correct name. I've got a bunch of those that I don't know why I bought so many. But there you have it. I probably need to sell a couple of them because I don't have room to put them up in this house. I just don't have that much room. I kept thinking I would make something and put it on there for a gift. Maybe I should do that instead. That would be better. Y'all, I'm sorry about water, but I gotta have it. My voice was not good on my last video. I watched Nell at Little Yellow House Crafts on YouTube this morning, and she asked if anybody else was allergic to autumn. I don't know that I'm allergic to autumn. I'm definitely allergic to wind, which is ridiculous. I am allergic to things out there that the wind brings to me. I went recently to my grandson's football game and didn't take any medication before I went, and I paid the price for that. It was real windy, and within 10 or 15 minutes my head was completely stopped up and my eyes were running, and it was just awful. Lasted about an hour, and when the wind died down I completely cleared up. It was great. But I know now that I'm going to be taking medication anytime I'm going to be sitting outside like that. I have some life updates, but I'm going to wait until the end to talk about that. Because I literally have this big huge table covered, and I want to get through some of that. The first thing I want to do, I ordered this, darn, the words left my brain right now, garland from Sambry Stitches, Becca at Sambry Stitches, and I absolutely love it. I have not yet put it up because I'm holding on to some decorations over here to show y'all. But she sent me as a gift this patriotic one, which is just adorable. So I'm really going to love that and enjoy using it. Thank you, Becca, so much. Also, let me move something here so things don't topple over. Things are falling apart here. Cynthia Brew at Stitching in the Light and Christy at Crosshatch Quilts and Olivia at Pumpkin Hollow Quilts are doing a stitch along, a pumpkin stitch along this month, which I am participating in. But they are also doing a giveaway, a big huge giveaway for people who donate to I don't remember the name either, but I'll link it here below. An organization that fights human trafficking. And for every $5 that you donate, you send the receipt, a copy of the receipt to Cynthia. And for every $5, your name is entered into the hat to win the giveaway. And there are tons of beautiful things. The one that I am donating to be given away, I've shown y'all before, but I'm going to show it to you again, is this pumpkin that I got at Hobby Lobby, I think. Doesn't say on the back. And these are two patterns that I combined. One from Blackbird Designs and not sure where I got this one. Maybe Lori Rippey. I'm not positive. Anyway, mounted it on this, which I think said welcome behind it. I'm not sure. So this is going to go to whoever's name is drawn at Cynthia's, the end of the month at Cynthia's. And I'm going to add to that, if I can find it. Oh well, I'll show you in a minute what I'm going to add to that. Here it is. Knew I'd find it. This was something I had given away 2 or 3 videos ago, and it was never claimed. So I'm just going to add Pumpkin Farm by Blackbird Designs to my giveaway when it goes out to the person who wins. So if you want a chance on those two, send $5 or more to Freedom. I'm going to get it wrong, so I'll link it below. I'll link Cynthia's video. That's that giveaway. I have another giveaway that I'm going to do a little bit later in this video, and it's going to be a really nice one. Y'all probably want to stay tuned. Okay, let's talk about whips first because I have those on top. I am working on Waxing Moon Designs Eat, Drink, and Be Scary. This pattern. It is really cute. I'm doing it on a 30 count mystery fabric. I have no idea what this is. With the cauliflower colors. And this is where I am so far. Actually, this looks like it ought to be half of it, but it's not because the brunt of the stitching is in the bottom part of this witch's hat. But that's where I am. All right, put you right there. And then the other whip that I'm working on is Coming to America, which you've seen a million times already, but I'm still going to show you where I am. This is a Brenda Gervais pattern. And I am, I don't know, 2/3 of the way through. I've done the ship, I've done the Cape Cod banner, the Pilgrim ladies, and I have started on the names, and I'm getting, I don't know, maybe I'm halfway on the names or closer, maybe closer to the bottom of that. And then there's another band motif on the bottom. This is on Vintage Country Mocha, I believe, was the cauliflower fabric, and using the cauliflower threads. I did do one thing a little bit differently. Up here in the top, the seagulls did not show up at all, and so I backstitched those with one of the other threads, maybe the gray or a light brown or something. I don't remember now, but I did backstitch those, and I'm very happy with that. I can see it a lot, see the birds a lot better, so I'm very happy with that. I love this piece. I have put it back aside right now because I really wanted to do the fall stitching with Cynthia and Olivia and Christy. So I've done several small fall things that I'm going to show you in just a minute. Let's do my finishes. And I did not bring my book, so I am probably not going to be able to tell you who the designers are on all of these. And they're still wrinkled. I got out a piece of fabric, 28 count. It might be Vintage Country Mocha too. Doesn't look quite like that, but I don't know. Anyway, and I stitched, first I stitched, where are you? This one. I believe this is a Lori Rippey pattern. I just loved it. If that's not the right designer, somebody tell me, okay? I'm sorry I didn't bring my book. And I can look that up if anybody needs it. Fast stitch. And I did it right across the top of this fabric that I had. Well, then I had a piece below it, and I thought, well, I'll just stitch a couple of smalls down there and use this fabric because it's here and it's pretty and I want to do some more fall things. So that's what I did until I filled up the fabric. This one, this owl, was the next one I stitched. He's a cutie. And Scary Cat. Again, y'all, if you want the designers, let me know, and I'll find them for you. I have them written down on my calendar. I just didn't bring it. And I did this little autumn one. Another cute one. And then I had ordered from Jen's Stitching Niche. She had these little mini samplers she was working on. So I ordered this October one and decided that's my last spot on that fabric. And I thought, well, I'll just put that on there. Except I kind of misjudged a little bit, and the October and below did not fit. So I just did the top part of that one. I really am not crazy about the colors on this one. In fact, I went back and changed the green. I didn't like it at all. I was using call for colors, but on this particular fabric, it just didn't show up that well. So those have been my pumpkin and fall stitching things. Then I decided I needed a break. I need to take a break from stitching. And I was going to do a little punch needle. I had this kit that I had gotten, well, not really a kit, but this pattern that I had gotten from the Shepherd's Needle in Little Rock. This is a Teresa's Primitive Treasures pattern. And she had this frame with it. I think it was a great deal. It was the pattern and the frame, which looks like this, for $32.50. I thought it was a great price. So I bought that and I punched it. Look at that. The light's not great for you seeing the colors, is it? I'm going to get closer. There. Oh, that's better. Really variegated in that center one. Really variegated. The clouds are kind of coming in and out, so that's what's causing that light to do that. And when I got into the pattern, it had a second pattern in it that I did not know it had. It doesn't show it on the outside of that pattern at all, but it was this one, Fall. So I just went ahead and punched it. Not cute? I'm not sure how I'm going to finish this one. I know I'm going to put the Harvest one inside this frame. All she did was finish this right up to the edges, and then I don't know how she attached it. Maybe she took a stitch on the back or glued it. I know you can't glue it. Maybe magnets. But I know I'm going to put that inside this. But I'm not quite sure about this fall one, how I'm going to do that. I may have a little box. Maybe. If y'all have any suggestions, let me know. Those are the finishes, except for a couple that I've FFO'd. I don't remember what I showed you before. I'm pretty sure I have shown you this Scattered Seed Samplers Set Free Pin Keep. I think I showed you that when I finished it. Look at that. Is that not the prettiest pattern? I decided I didn't want to finish it like that. I wanted something I could hang, and so I found this board at Hobby Lobby, and it has something written on it like all of them do. So what I did was I cut a piece of wool. Wool is just so forgiving. It stretches a little when you need it to. It doesn't ravel, doesn't have strings. So I cut a square of wool and I glued the wool to the back to the front of this board and covered up all the words. And then I took a piece of mat board and laced this piece around it. I put flannel underneath this piece. First I used that really thin interfacing that I use that irons on, but then I put a couple of pieces of flannel and laced that on there. And I glued it onto the wool on the backs, not on the stitched piece itself. Well, it may be on the edges of it, probably is. And then glued on this Lady Dot mini pom-poms, and I added a little bee right here. I love the bee there, but he's there for a reason, because there was a tiny dot of something that had gotten on there. I'm not sure what it was. Could have been chocolate. Just saying, could have been. But I love the way it's turned out. Absolutely love it. I can't wait to hang that one up. I several months ago had finished this Brenda Gervais December piece. This is the 5th one of these months that I've done. This is the fabric I used for the back. I have finished all of these the very same way, just plain. I have the other 4 in a dough bowl. I finished this one filled this one with walnut shells. Really like walnut shells. I ordered mine from Amazon because I couldn't find them at Walmart here. And then later somebody told me they have them at Tractor Supply. I'm going to try there and see, because I want more of those. And then I had finished this Mill Hill kit. I don't think I've shown you this one before. I think I just finished that one. And just struggled on how I wanted to finish it. I had a little small frame that, one that has an easel back. So I took out the back of that frame and used just the back of it, not the frame. I wrapped it with red velvet, and I had to glue it on the back. I couldn't, because of the easel back, I couldn't figure out any other way to get it to lay down flat. I tried lacing and it didn't work good for me. And I used some pins to hold this cord down. I glued it and used some pins to hold it down. 2 of them are still in there. I haven't taken them out. And wrapped this cord around. And I'm very pleased with the way this turned out. Now the back looks terrible. I'm going to show you, but the back looks terrible. This is the easel back. You can see that I've glued all of this right here. But you don't see it on the front. And there's no glue on yes, there is. I put a dot of glue on the back of the paper. I did. Maybe 2 or 3 dots of glue to hold that on there. That's how I had to have done it. Because you can't, anything else would show. It was very hard for me to decide how to cut this paper, and I think I should have probably nipped this a little closer. I was afraid of getting into those beads. I still can do that. I may go back and clip that just a little bit. I also finished Ode to the Ort basket, which is a Brenda Gervais pattern that I have had a couple of years. I bought it at market whenever it came out. And here is my finish on him. It was difficult to get these handles not to interfere with my rickrack. So I'm not pulling them up and putting them down very often. When I get through showing this and get ready to sit it out, I will pull the handles up a little, I think. and all I did was cut a piece of mat board, put some flannel on there, laced this behind and glued it, and then glued the rickrack to the outside edges. I wanted to put a little charm on there, but I don't have any bird charms, and I haven't gone shopping to look for any, but I may still do that a little bit later. And then, let's see. Oh, here's another finish. I've shown this to y'all before, too. I stitched this months ago. It's going to be a gift for a friend. I watched Helen D. and her tutorial on how to do whatever, herringbone stitch or whatever that is right there. I obviously did not do it. I should have watched it multiple times because it did not work for me. But I just did crosses, and it's just fine. Just fine. And I had this little cardinal pin that I stuck in there, so this is going to be one of my favorites. The sweet piece. I also, y'all have seen this before, this hands-on design pattern. I finished it some time ago, and the fabric that she finished hers with came with this, but I didn't really care for that. Just my colors don't kind of go along with that. I still haven't finished the key fob part of that, so that's still here to do. But I found a frame for $1.01 at Goodwill. That's what was written on the back of it. The back of this is not finished yet, but I'm going to show you the front because this is how it turned out, and I think it's really pretty. It had a piece mounted up like that. Now, it had glass here, and I couldn't take the glass out. It's kind of back in there inside the frame, and it wouldn't come out. But it had this piece right here was another piece of cardboard that had something on it that made it three-dimensional. So I took all of that out and cut new pieces of mat board. I cut just a piece of mat board and taped this on the back with that sewer's tape that's, I don't know, it's a sticky on both sides and you can pull the fabric over it. That's what I used for that. And then another piece of mat board that I covered with this outside fabric right here. And I glued this to this, the front to the back, and put it back in there. So it is all together. All I have to do is put the back on it, and I'll just cover it with some brown craft paper on the back, and it will hang. I think that would be so pretty in a sewing room. Okay, that's all of the finishes. I did, this week, I got that frame that I just did that one on. Went to Goodwill. You know, it's the funniest thing. I went to the post office to mail a package. Y'all know I don't get out very often. I went to the post office, and then I did a drive-through at Starbucks and got a chai tea latte. An iced chai tea latte. That's my downfall. And I was going to go to Walmart and pick up a couple of things. And there were so many cars in the lot, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't make myself do that. So I thought, I'll run down to Kroger's. There won't be as many people there. Well, there were. And I couldn't make myself do that either. So I turned around and started home, and there was a Goodwill, and there were no cars in the lot. So I thought, okay, that's my chance. I just needed to get out a little bit. So I went in Goodwill, and all I bought was frames. I bought that little black one that I did Stitching is My Heart's Desire on. I bought 4 frames. I bought this one right here. It had glass in it, which I have taken out. And I think I am going to put this in it. You can't tell much right now because that wire's right across it. I haven't taken the wire off. Grateful, thankful, blessed. I think that's going to go in this frame. It will fit in there just fine. I've done all the measuring. My only question is, do I want to leave that frame this color, or do I want to paint it? And if I paint it, what color do I want to paint it? What do you think? That one's on hold until I decide about that frame. And here are the other two frames that I found. I am so in love with this one. It was $1.91. These are etched in the wood, cut out. Now, isn't that the cutest frame? I have no clue what I'm going to put in that. But whatever it is, I love it. I just love it. And then I found this one that I'm sure is supposed to look vintagey, but I'm not sure it does. But it was a good size frame. I liked the width of it, and I thought I can always paint it if I don't have something particular that I want to put in. It might work at Easter for something like that. Okay, I'm going to do some giveaways, and then I'm getting close to 30 minutes. Then I'm going to show you some of my fall and Halloween stitched pieces that I've not yet put out, but am going to put out as soon as I get through with this video. I've told y'all many times that I used to quilt all the time, and I don't quilt anymore. I can't do everything. There is a lot of quilting that I cannot do because of my hands. I have arthritis real bad. Have had surgery on a couple of joints. They are stiff. They don't work well. My fingers don't. I can still cross stitch. I can still do the stab method. I can't do the sewing method. But I am blessed to be able to do what I do. I'm excited that I can still do that. I have a couple of beautiful quilting patterns. Applique. Both of them are applique. No, one of these might be pieced, but no, part of it's applique. Anyway, I am never going to stitch these. So, if you are a quilter and you would like to have these, I want you to comment below and tell me what your last quilt, the last quilt that you made, what it was. You can say the last one I made was a wedding ring quilt, or you can say it was a rag quilt, or it was a table runner quilt. I don't care how you say it, but just tell me what the last quilt you made was. Or maybe your favorite quilt. I don't care. Either one of those. Okay, this one is a Bunny Hill design by Ann Sutton. And y'all, well, you can see I paid $40 for this pattern. But I am never going to be able to make it. And it is so adorable. I want someone to make it. So if you are interested in this quilt pattern, tell me below something about a quilt you've made. And then the second one that I'm going to give away, this is an Amy Bradley Designs called Meet the Tweets. So cute. It's actually got two quilt patterns. The first one is this birdhouse one. Oh, goodness. It may have more than two. I guess it's got this bird in it too. And it's got this pattern in it here on the back. So if you want this one, tell me if you've ever made a quilt with a bird on it. I haven't made a bird with a quilt with a bird on it yet, or yes, I've made one and it had this. Either one of those. And then a couple of months ago, a friend gifted me with some patterns. And two of the patterns that she gave to me, I already had. So I am passing these on. Susan, these are the ones from you. This one is Grateful, Thankful, Blessed, and that's the one you just saw over there. that I'm getting ready to frame. This one, if you're interested in this, put a comment below that is something about Thanksgiving. Anything about Thanksgiving. And then the other one that she gave me is this beautiful Blackbird Designs book, Ooh La La. And I already had this one, so I'm going to pass this one on. If you are interested in this one, if you would put a comment about the alphabet, anything about an alphabet. It's got an alphabet piece right there. Anything about an alphabet, and I will put you in the drawing. Now, y'all, I use the random comment picker. I don't put a certain word in. I just run it. And when it pops up, if it's got one of those words in it, when I read the comment, I will choose that person. If it doesn't have one of those words, I'll run it again until it comes up with a comment that has that word in it. That's the easiest thing for me to do. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. I'm going to show you some older things that I have that I think you would like to see. This one I stitched this last year. And y'all, I don't have designers on any of these. You've seen these before in former videos. But I will try to find the designer if you want to see it. So that's the first one. He's a cutie. This little face, isn't he cute, is on one of these little boards like this. I don't know where I got that. And it's just the face. This is all that's stitched right here. And I cut a piece of mat board and laced it onto there and put the rickrack behind it. And this is a wool stem. This is one of my very favorites. Spooky, scary, creepy, chilling baddie. This piece right here came from Hobby Lobby. This is what it looked like when I bought it. That's on the back. And I just cut mat board and laced this and glued it onto the other side of this piece. And so it sits up all by itself. It's a great way to display this. Ooh, he's a little wrinkled. The name of this one's something like The Boys Are Back in Town. It's a free pattern that comes with the buttons. I got it at Branson at Cecilia's Samplers. So if you're interested in this one, you can call them and ask them if they still have that. It's been a couple of years. But I think they keep those button tags. This is a little punch needle one on a spool, and he sits down in a bowl with some autumn stuff around him. He just kind of peeks out of it. And I just left the bottom open and slid him down on that, and he's got polyfill in him. This is another one with just a little face and buttons and a hook. It's laced on the back. I didn't even cover the back on this one. I'll show you. See, didn't even cover it. Tied a ribbon around it. He goes on an easel. Okay, he's not stitched, but isn't he cute? I bought him to put something stitched right there. I might put one of those fall things that I just stitched right on his belly. That spider. Wouldn't that be cute? I think I'll do that. This little shadow box, I know y'all can't see this very good. I'm going to get closer. I just stitched a spider web here, and I got at the Dollar Tree, I got this spider. Oh, let me see. Oh, looky there. He's all sequiny. He shows up really, just not in here because of the lights, I guess. But look how glittery he is. Isn't he cute? That's not one. Oh, here's one. Halloween, made into a little bag, except I sewed up the top because I wasn't going to put anything in it. I'm not sure what else might be down in here. This is embroidery, not cross stitch, and it will hang. It's very wrinkled. It's made to hang on a dowel. I used to do a lot of embroidery when my fingers worked right, and I used to do a lot of wool applique, and that's what this is. It's a cat. You barely can see him either. See? That's wool applique, and that's all hand stitching. I love doing the blanket stitch. I wish I could still do it. This is one of my favorite quilts. Since I'm giving away quilt patterns, I'll show you. This is one of my favorites. Let's see. There you go. And you don't even need a pattern to do this. Just cut out some leaf shapes and applique them on, and letters on top of that. And then I just pieced pieces of fabric and put all around this border. This one is hung up every year, and I really love it. This is one I did last year. He's not staying down very good. It says Happy Halloween right here on his little web. He comes down this way with the little spider on it. And I just use mat board, and this doesn't stand up very good. I've got to find a board to mount this on so that it'll be much more sturdy. 'Tis Halloween on a Hobby Lobby pumpkin. He might go on the back door for a few days until Halloween. Another one of my very favorites. Halloween Greetings. This is a Hobby Lobby board. I've literally run out of places to put some of this stuff because I put my fall stuff out first. I put it in September. This one I stitched last year. These are just little leaves that I found on a card at maybe Michael's, maybe Hobby Lobby, and I glued them on, put a little dot of glue on the back, and put, this braid is not one I braided. I bought it in the Halloween section, the autumn section at Hobby Lobby. Almost done. One small. This, last year was in a flea market, and this was on a tea towel. It was just this little bitty thing on this great big tea towel, and I didn't like it like that, so I cut it up, cut this piece off, and mounted it on a piece of mat board, laced it on the back, and did it on mat board. This is a tea towel. I hang it on the stove. That's why it has ribbons to hold it on. It's wrinkled. Sorry, y'all. And this is another applique one, but it's machine done. Let's see. Oh, this is a pillow slip that I don't yet have on a pillow. This also is hand embroidered. That was a fun one to do. And two more that I've not done anything with yet. This is a hand embroidered witch's house. Not sure how I'm going to finish that. Haven't been sure the last 2 or 3 years. And another embroidered one. The witch's boot with all the party stuff coming out. This pattern was made so that you could use Crayolas and color that boot and those pumpkins. There's a method for doing that, but I didn't much want to do it, so I just didn't. Okay, that is all I'm going to show you today. Let me see if I have any life updates to share with y'all. So if you're through and you don't care for life updates, thank you for coming. What's going on? Not a lot. Those of you who have followed the story with my brother Terry, who has Lewy body dementia. Terry's been doing great for 2 years now. We've had 2 years that we didn't think we were going to get. But he is kind of going down now. Not feeling real great. He seems to be confused right now. He doesn't know where he is all the time. He doesn't know his caregiver, who she is. She brought him over to see me yesterday. He wanted to come and talk to me, he told her. And he did. He came and talked to me and told me a long story about a hallucination that he's had that was kind of scary for him. He does see things that are not there. Not all the time, but it's getting much more frequent. So the memory doctor that he goes to, he went to a couple of weeks ago, said he was not doing well. And so when he goes back in January, they may try a different medication for him. Physically, he's great. I mean, he's doing fine. He has gout. But other than that, he's doing well. And honestly, I think that's it. If you saw my birthday bash, I had a fabulous, fabulous birthday. I've had 2 ornaments come in since my last one, and I forgot to bring them in here with me. They were from Canada. I'll do that next time. I'll show them in the next video. I'm up to 70. Abby Bellastitch organized that, and she wanted to have 74 because of my birthday. I'm 74 now. But, I think it was totally amazing that we're up to 70, frankly. Just totally amazing. And my cup overfloweth, for sure. We've got a lot of people who are hurting right now, people who are sick, who are fighting cancer, people who have lost loved ones, people who are struggling with what's going on in the world today, with the stuff that's being said on social media about the election and those kinds of things. So I just want to remind everyone to be kind. 2020's been a rough year. And it's easy for us to be kind. My great-grandson, Cade, y'all all know about Cade, who's 3 and a half now, I think said something the other day that was so profound. I had to stop and blink. He told his mama, he said, everybody is naked under their clothes. Now, where he came up with that, I don't know. But the longer I thought about it, the more I thought, yes, we are. We are all the same under our clothes. We're all naked. And it doesn't matter whether that's fat or thin, old or young, wrinkled or taut, light colored or dark colored or whatever. It doesn't matter. We're all the same. We're all naked under our clothes. I love that. I love that. So, y'all have a great weekend and a great upcoming week. I'll try to come back in a couple of weeks and visit with you again. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being a subscriber if you do. Thank you for commenting. I love reading them. I don't get to answer everyone, but I do read them all, and I do put a heart beside them when I've read them. I'm very thankful for all of your comments. They have absolutely carried me forward during this difficult year. So I love you, and I appreciate you, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.